Hey, so hello, anyone out there on the big wide internet world. I am Bill. This is Alan.
Yes.
We have set up this podcast because we would have been watching bad anime
Yeah.
normally, and we would have been making shitty snide jokes about it, and no one would have been laughing.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
been. We've been
Nobody.
at it for.
We would have been laughing, but not anyone else.
No one's like We've been doing this for years, but basically not recording it.
Yeah.
So this time we're actually going to record.
Yes.
This is fun though because I haven't seen this anime in a year.
Not a year. We watched
It
it a
feels
week
like
ago.
a year. It feels like a week.
It does feel
feels
like a year.
but
It was a
week.
long week.
It was a week. It was 1 week.
Yes.
And we watched Darwin's Game, episode 1, right? Last week, unless I'm hallucinating. And
Yeah, we
you looked ahead.
I
coward.
do not care about spoilers.
I want to guess. I want to have like mystery. I want to know. I want to be like, who is Darwin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who is Darwin? Well, I mean, it's Charles.
What is this game? Well, what's his game? Is it Jenga? I don't know. I don't know if it's Jenga. I don't know if it's
his
backgammon.
game is this.
I don't know.
It's the weird fucked up thing. It's the weird fucked up thing.
We don't know that.
What would you mean? What if the game in the anime called Darwin's
What if
Game?
the game is referring to something else?
But the game is literally named Darwin's Game.
Yeah. So what's the game referring to? It can't be referring to itself. How can Darwin's Game be Darwin's game? That doesn't make any
Charles
sense.
Darwin cannot
It's
make
recursive.
a game. Yeah.
He's not even. Also, you're assuming it's Charles Darwin. That hasn't been specified.
Well, like I don't know.
You don't know. You're just talking shit about shit
I'm
you don't
talking.
know.
Yeah. Well, that's literally what we do.
Yeah, no, that's what you do. I'm here to spit in facts. You looked ahead. I don't know what the fuck happens in this show. I watched the episode at this point a week ago. So you, I think, also looked at a synopsis like 10 minutes ago because, again, coward.
I'm looking at a synopsis while we're talking.
All right. So you can actually help me fill in
Yes.
the gaps here in my memory of this anime that I watched a week ago.
Yes.
And I remember it basically being incredibly bad. Does it say that on the Wikipedia page?
The Wikipedia page, that's incredibly bad. Does it say how people liked it?
Yeah, can I hear the reception of it? Because my main remembrance is it was just a series of anime cliches that sort of climax on a naked woman saying, "Will you have sex with me?"
Yes.
Which, I mean, I gotta give him props for really going for it, but
She wants him to bear her. She wants him to get her pregnant.
she wanted to bear his kids,
Yeah.
which is that's sex.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that yet, Alan, but that's what sex is, and it sort of was 45 minutes of just wandering around, being confused, not understanding basic things that were explained multiple times to him. He just like didn't listen. It was really cool.
Yeah. No, it was explained so many times. He had so many on-ramps, and he ignored all of them.
Yeah, I've also noticed I have not actually started doing like a synopsis of what
so
happened.
Darwin's Game
So it,
is a 7.3 out of 10, which is the lowest score it can possibly get on Mal.
That's not true. It could get like 7.3 points lower.
That's true. But do people on Mal go under 7?
They do if it's like a short for some reason. I don't know why, but like shorts on Mal consistently get lower scores.
That is...
If it's like 3 to 4 minutes, they give it a lower score. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think people, if they like sit down and they watch like 13 episodes of 30 minutes, they don't want to admit that like they just sat down and they watched like a 5 to 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And so they like have to be like, oh well, it was at least a 7. Like, all right, guys, it wasn't good, but I mean, guys, it was at least a 7. Like, they've got to justify it to themselves, or else they have to admit that they just sat down and watched Darwin's Game. And so the sort of basic premise here is that there is a deaf game going on
There's
for
a
an
deaf
app.
game. There's Panda.
We opened with there was a guy. He's running around.
There's a
He's
guy.
All like, I'm running around, and then someone like she catches up to him, and he goes like, why I'm so strong, I'm gonna die, and then he goes, he like has a pile of blood.
Yeah, his neck gets
and
real
then,
blood. Like that's.
But before he does that, he forwards the email or whatever onto main character.
Yes,
Coon,
main character Coon. Who's
I never learned. I did not forget his name.
I can read his name right now, but it's not important.
Okay, it didn't seem important.
I know it's actually it's easier to just say main character.
Yeah, main character Coon. He's strangely for this kind of show, he's just like a straight up delinquent. He and his shitty friends are basically planning on skipping school, and I assume like doing petty crime.
Yeah. Like
graffiti. He's kind of
weren't they just gonna go to karaoke? I was just gonna go to karaoke.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just planning on going out and like like singing lewd songs.
Yes.
And just being a general sort of delinquent bad kid.
Yeah.
Because normally they always have these kids be like roughly like good or whatever.
Oh wait, we forgot the snake.
I didn't forget the snake.
No, but the snake happened before they ditched school.
They were planning on ditching school, I thought, unless I missed.
No. They decided to ditch school after he passed out from the snake.
Okay, so I mean, but the point was he was already a shitty kid.
Yes, he's a shitty kid.
Yeah, so then he clicks forward on the chain email, and then he gets bit by a snake. To which he doesn't seem to really react to this.
Yeah.
Like, if you pressed a button on your phone and a snake bit you, I feel like your like concern would not be resolved like when you went to see the nurse and she's like, "Oh, you're fine now."
Yeah.
Like, I would have larger concerns.
Also, it left a thing on his neck. I guess he never looked in a mirror to see it.
Yeah, he never looked in a mirror. I mean, you can't really blame that one on him. It is sort of weird that he has a fucking barcode on his neck. I don't know if it's like a stand type situation and people, like the muggles, can't see it or whatever, because no one remarks on it.
No one does.
And he's in a school, and presumably, like, you can't just be tatted up in a Japanese high school unless you're like...
you're a Yakuza. Like, I'm pretty sure they would throw someone out. Like, they don't let you in a bath.
Yeah, I have a really hard time imagining he walked past, like, all his teachers. And, like, presumably, he, like, passed out and, like, woke up, right?
Yeah.
So, like, somebody saw his neck during that, right? They don't react to his cool new fashion statement.
Yeah.
So he like, wakes up, and then the nurse asks him for a pen, and there's some sort of contrivance where he reaches down and he gets a pen, but it's not the pen that was there that she asked him to get. He, like, made a new pen. So he's got some sort of power that allows him to make things, roughly.
Yes.
We learn later that this is an undefined power. So it's probably
it's a vast and undefined power.
Yeah, it's so powerful they don't even know what the fuck it is. And then, so this is just like a two-parter. So this is like roughly what would be halfway through like the first episode.
Yes.
He's got one of his delinquent friends who's in the game, who's like already in the game. He's playing the game or whatever. Is like, oh man, you're like, let me explain shit, and he brushes him off.
He's like, nah, this game ain't shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll play this fucking... This is just a morality play about, like, not letting your friends get into gacha games.
Yes, this is about gacha. It's not about, like...
It's not about murder.
It's about gacha.
It's saying it's about murder. It's not about murder.
It's about gacha.
This is a game about letting your friends get into mobile games because you don't have the language to confront them about spending...
Just do not play mobile games. I know
it's not good.
Like, look, man,
But you're like, oh, it's free. I can download it. And then the first few hours, they're like getting all these like anime girl JPEGs, and you're like, oh man, this is really good.
No, I was like, man, Girls Front Line's pretty fun. I like all these characters, and I was just like, wait, I could enjoy all these characters and not play the game.
Go to Ask Jeeves, ask him for some anime girl JPEGs. Yeah. He'll give them to you.
I literally
be like, show me Saber as a mermaid or whatever. He'll show that shit to you. Ask him.
I literally have tabs of Girls Front Line open right now. Not the game. Just tabs.
Yeah. How much did you pay for those tabs?
$0.00.
It's amazing.
I know, it's beautiful.
And so he's sort of trying to explain this to him, but he does not succeed in explaining the immense danger that the guy is in, and he is going to be hunted down. He like accepts the challenge from a bunny guy who appears to be a local mascot because Japan, and It's the same guy who killed his friend at the beginning of the show.
Also, isn't it
who forwarded the email?
The panda man. It was like, I think they said he's like the baseball.
Oh, it's a panda, not a bunny.
No, it's a panda. Because it's a panda. Wait, like I'll Google what it looks like.
No, it was probably a panda. It's just the Animal Crossing egg event scarred me forever.
Yeah, no,
I now just perceive all mascots as bunnies.
It was a panda.
Okay, it was a
shit,
panda.
This anime has its own wiki.
Everything has its own wiki.
Yeah. I
could make a wiki for this podcast in like another tab. Like, there's wikis. I found this shit. I was like Googling shit.
God, this anime has nothing to do with the manga at all.
That's a good news.
It is good news.
Maybe the manga is good.
Actually good. Because this anime is not.
Again, we've only seen the first episode, so it could get better.
Okay, but like, we've only ever had to abandon one anime.
What was the anime we abandoned? I already forgot.
See, the problem is, like, I think people actually like that anime.
Oh, yeah, it was Shield Hero.
It was Shield Hero, and it's really bad.
Yeah, Shield Hero is terrible.
It's terrible. It is absolutely awful. Slime is good. Slime is very good.
It's weird to me how much of this isekai shit has slavery in it these days.
Yeah.
But that's just like, we've gone on a number of tangents. I was actually in the middle of a tangent that was going to lead to a discussion of, like, wikis, like fan wikis for, like, fake Pokemon, for, like, fake, like, Baby Mario games.
Okay.
Like, there are wikis for everything. You can just make a wiki, and you can be like, this is a wiki for a game that doesn't exist.
Yes.
There are people who are doing that online. So, that there's a wiki for Darwin's game does not surprise me.
Yeah.
But, as stated, there's the fight going on. He's being chased around, and his buddy who's trying to warn him, like, "Oh no, don't you don't want
to fuck around with this, man. Just go to your house.
You don't want to fuck around with this shit, man. You get in, he's like, oh look, it's like a stall phone. Next thing you know, you're in like $50,000 of debt to payday loans, man. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't
want to know what you're messing with.
Yeah.
But it's too late. He's messed around with it, and this bunny, who has the ability to turn invisible, is chasing him around. His buddy has what is the most useless power in any other situation other than this. He's the ability to perceive, like, the life force in things or something. He has,
like, it looks like thermal vision. He has thermal vision.
Yeah, he's got thermal vision, which is not like it would be a good power to have.
Yes.
But if other people have powers, it's not that good.
Yeah.
Unless you're against Invisibility Man.
Yeah.
But this guy, the one guy he could conceivably beat, he loses to outnumbering it.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's honestly incredible.
Yeah.
And so his friend and bunny guy both die after a fairly protracted battle where the main
bunny
character...
guy gets fucking wrecked by, like, the guy doesn't even, like, he gets wrecked by a car completely unrelated to anyone killing him.
I mean, I assume that we could maybe learn later that Bunny Man was killed, or Panda Man was killed as part of someone's keikaku, someone's evil plan.
This was keikaku, and it was all according to it.
Yeah, like Lelouch is somewhere. He's just like, I planned that truck to go there.
Yes.
Because I don't really understand. It's generally...
Also, the truck just does not give a shit. It's like, oh, I thought we hit something. I don't see anything, so it's fine.
Okay, Alan. If you hit, like, something, and then you got out of your car, and there was nothing there, walk me through your reaction. You're driving along here, and it looks like you hit something. You get out of the car, nothing is there. Wouldn't your reaction just be like, okay, I guess it's fine
but there's a dent in their bumper. I'd be like, what the fuck caused this dent?
Did he see the dent?
Yeah, they literally said there's a dent in our bumper.
Yeah, then they I mean, again, my reaction would not be like, I gotta investigate.
That's true. Yeah.
You know where you find out the dent is? You go to a mechanic.
Yes.
You get him to fix the dent. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know he's in a death game world where he accidentally just saved main character Kun's life. This guy, everything that happens from now on, any good thing main character Kun does, it's on this guy.
Yeah.
like shitty car driver, man. It's not even his fault. Like, he's just driving. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
You shouldn't turn invisible in a parking garage if you don't want to be hit.
You really shouldn't. Oh yeah.
Although I do have to wonder, how fast was this guy going in the parking garage where he like got completely destroyed?
I know, because he was just dead.
Because I mean, like, realistically, in a parking garage, you're going like.
No, I guess
15,
he wasn't
20.
dead. He was still talking.
Yeah, but he was like bleeding out somehow.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense
because he got shot with a crossbow, and that was fine. But the car was just like, no.
Maybe it like knocked the crossbow bolt into some. I don't know, because it doesn't make sense. Because if you're going in a car, if you're in a parking garage, and it didn't look like the guy was speeding in a crazy way. It looked like he was going like 15, 20 miles an hour. He hit this guy so hard that it dented his car, and then the guy died slowly while bleeding out.
Yeah. So he's going 60 to 25 zone.
The other thing that's pretty crazy to me is after the bunny or Panda Man dies and his buddy dies, they turn into like modern art. They
do. They turn
into modern art graffiti.
Yeah, also, everyone's cool with this graffiti, including the city, even though it's literally just like holes in the sidewalk.
I don't understand like how incompetent are the police here, because I at least understand Bunny Guy because he's like or Panda Guy because he's invisible.
The police was super upset, but there was a cop in this episode who just got killed.
Yeah, but like
also no one went after anyone for killing a cop.
Yeah, that seems strange.
That is strange.
So, imagine you're Detective Coon the day after one of these killings. This is a parking garage. There is CCTV footage.
Yes.
They're going to show his buddy entering. They're going to show him leaving at some point.
They're going to show a panda going invisible.
That should at least be on there somewhere. But even if you say, oh, you can't see the panda, he's invisible, his buddy is not invisible.
Yeah.
So you should see the point at which he gets cubed.
The panda wasn't invisible when he got turned into modern art. He was talking.
And there's no indication from the show that they understand that this is not like modern graffiti from fucking like Banksy or whatever, and is actually like murder.
Yeah.
There's no indication whatsoever that they understand
people are going missing, and they're just like, oh, I don't know.
I wonder if there's a connection between these people who are going missing and then the modern art that shows up where they teleport from.
Yeah. And
it's impossible to know. Yeah, no.
Anyway,
I don't know what's going on. Maybe the police are in on the conspiracy because we don't know.
Well, no,
I don't know
that
anything.
one cop was not, and he got killed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of fate of being a cop who's not a main character in anything.
Yeah,
is you need to die so that you understand what the stakes are. Because like, if they didn't do that, people who are dumber than I am would be like, oh, why didn't he just go to the police and say he has a problem? As if the cops are going to be able to help you in a magic duel, but whatever. There would definitely be someone on the writing team's like, oh, we gotta establish that the cops can't help.
Yeah, the cop.
And their way of doing that was have this cop man murder.
Yeah, the cop tried to help. He was like, hey, stop, don't do murder, and then he got murdered.
I was actually kind of weird how cooperative the cop was to a guy who basically just ran up to him and was like, help, I'm being chased. There's an invisible man.
These are like real big boy police, not like the ones we have.
Yeah, no, but even still, I think just like a normal person's reaction to I'm being chased by an invisible panda man, help, would not be.
The cop could see the panda because he tried to stop him.
Oh, yeah, he didn't turn invisible
yet. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a limit on their powers because they didn't.
I don't know.
They didn't really say.
I don't know.
So then after this, somehow the main character still has literally no clue what's going on.
Yeah, somehow he has not figured anything out.
He has figured out that it is tied to the game, but he doesn't understand where the weird powers are.
Yes.
He's like really confused by the cube thing, which seems like it's weird to me that the authorities don't know, but it's like really a non-issue.
It's like intuitive. Like that's just what happens when you die.
But he's just like, what's going on? And it's like, your buddies are dead because you didn't win the game. Win the game next time, fucker.
To be fair, he did win the game. It's just his buddy lost the game while he won the game.
His buddy lost the game.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? Like he's like, ah.
Also, why did this buddy get time to bleed out? But once the game detected the panda was bleeding out, It was just like, all right, Panda's done.
I don't know. Like, they don't explain anything in this show.
They do not.
It's just kind of like the things they do explain. The main character just goes, "Huh?"
Yeah, and then
asks, "That can't be true," and then asks the same question again.
He goes through it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
literally get an explanation for everything that happened like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And the only things that have been explained in order are there is a deaf game that you get from forwarding this application to people to get them to join the deaf game.
Yes.
Then a snake bites you, then you get superpowers.
And you're in the deaf game.
And then you're in the deaf game, and the only way is to win or die.
Yes. Anyways, we then...
Or as we learn later, become a slave.
Yes, become a slave.
Because slavery
is anime approved.
Yeah, you were gonna say like good or something, and then you're like, I don't want that.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that voice clip out there.
Yeah, and you were like, I gotta say it was anime approved because it definitely keeps happening.
But you know where slavery is not okay? Shield Hero.
Anywhere?
Well, anywhere, yeah, anywhere, but also Shield Hero specifically. That is the worst slavery.
I would say I somewhat this is the sort of slavery that I think is like, it's weird that you wrote it, but like it doesn't make me hate the main character at all. I don't think I would characterize him as a slaver, although he does now, I guess, in the rules of this game. He does
possess a slave. So he is now Thomas Jefferson.
No,
he's not that. Well, yeah,
because he hasn't. You know he isn't gonna fuck this girl, dude.
Okay, but like she wants it.
Unlike Thomas.
Yeah.
Our boy Tommy. Listen,
yeah.
So here's how main character Kun like keeps her in slavery, whips her a lot, and then she runs away to like France or whatever, and he's like, I have our child, come back and have sex with me, and and then she comes back and then he rapes her again. Then we're in Tommy J land, but we're not there yet.
We're not quite there yet.
We're not nearly at Tommy.
Anyways, we are not even addressing the second half of this beyond that there is a woman in it.
Yeah, we have. I was trying to do a synopsis, but then I keep getting annoyed by things, and I think you keep getting annoyed by things. We keep getting distracted.
Yes.
But the woman that we've been referring to multiple times, he then realizes like, oh, I've got to like figure stuff out about this game.
Yeah.
I don't remember because it was a week ago how he got in contact with this woman.
She texted him. She slid into his DM.
I think she said some shit like, "Oh, he cute though."
He cute though, and he also won the thing, and she was like watching him win the thing, and she was just like, "That's hot."
She does seem to be like the kind of anime girl who's like turned on by violence.
Yes.
I don't know if we have a tsundere term.
She's supposed to be hot. I don't think they did a great job.
I mean, like, she looks like the problem with anime girls is the only way they know to make, because they're all just cartoons. The only way they know how to make them hot is they just like amp the boobs up.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of tools here in the whole wheelhouse. They draw a cute little face because it's a little cartoon face, and then they give a big titties, and they're like, I made a cute girl.
Yeah. Well, she's got chains. She got mad chains.
Yeah, she has got a lot of chains.
Yeah, and
so then he's like, "Oh yeah, tell me about what's going on." Then he shows up, and this stupid motherfucker like brought a weapon to this. He like he does so many stupid shit. He also buys a gun at some point, which I assume will come up at some point.
He accidentally buys the gun. He buys it in the game, and then he's like, "What the fuck? I got a real gun at my house."
Yeah. But I guess I was misremembering. Yeah. But like, he goes to this place, he gets some non-lethal weapons, and goes to meet up with her in the kind of thing that this isn't just an anime thing, this is just all media thing.
Yeah.
There's just, in any sort of work of fiction, there are just like giant industrial parks that you can just go to and destroy and nobody cares.
Yeah. I think it's implied
there aren't cameras, there aren't walls, it's not hard to sneak into. I thought it's implied
she like owns it.
I think they might have implied that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't like. He basically goes to meet her. Also, that would mean she's got to be incredibly wealthy.
Well, we see her house, and it's she's incredibly wealthy.
Do we? I don't think we know. Oh, you're going from the scene at the end and the fact that you've seen the Wikipedia page.
No, like that's scene at the end. That is not a poor. Like that's. Japanese people live in.
I don't know. It's one room.
It's a small country. They have small houses.
I don't know anything about Japan, so maybe I could just be like one room. You don't know.
No, maybe she has a really fancy one room apartment.
Yeah. I mean, you got one room in your apartment. Make it real fancy.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, he goes to meet up with her, and basically they run into they basically try to like go, okay, let me explain everything to the game, but just first, can you tell me what your power is? And then he goes, powers? What are powers? What's a power? And my guy was fighting like an invisible panda like 8 hours before. Yes. And he's like still like, what's a superpowers? I don't know anything about that. I just want to know how I could quit the game. And then she's like, are you seriously doing this shit? That's basically what she's like. Yeah. And they have this conversation for a ridiculously long time before she decides she's just going to kill him because he brought weapons and he won't tell her what her power is.
Yeah.
And then she checks his power, and obviously, since he's the main character, his powers are off the charts.
His power is literally even more pissed off. It registers an error, and she's just like, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Also, it's not very clear when his power is revealed why exactly that would be an error. It's a very simple power.
Yeah, again, I just want to double check here, because I sort of guessed what the power was. It's either the ability to copy things, or the ability to create things he has already seen. And I don't know if there's a difference between the two.
So her power is the chains.
Is the ability to control chains, yeah.
He has the
I just thought about that in connection to the slavery thing.
What? The chains?
The chains, I just remembered that she so the way this is resolved is he's like, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to murder or die. And then she's like, okay, whatever. I'm your slave now.
Okay.
And then that's how they resolve.
Also, his power is he can make weapons he's touched before. Like he can just make a copy of it.
Is it's restricted to weapons?
The Wikipedia says weapons.
Because he uses are pens weapons? They're mightier than the sword.
You could kill someone with a pen.
Yeah, but he's not John Wick. He's just a pen.
You could kill someone with a pen.
He can't kill someone with a gun, dude.
I mean, so the first bullet that he fires, that was shooting to kill. And then
I think you're sort of assuming there's too much competence going on here.
You're right. There's not enough competence.
Everything he was doing in that fight was just sort of him flailing.
Anyway, the most important thing is there's a fight, and it's actually kind of boring.
It's not super boring, but I will say
6 out of 10.
In general, this show is sort of like if Harry Potter beat Voldemort just by pulling out a gun. He literally runs around as she tries to beat him up with chains, and then he manages to create a single pistol, and then he wins the fight, thus proving that her magic power does not remotely compete with a single pistol that I could go down and buy for some amount of money in my real actual life.
Yeah, because she's like, I have these sick chains, and he's just like, I have a gun.
There's gotta be, if you have magic powers and your magic power loses to a single pistol, you're either not using your power correctly or your power sucks.
Yeah.
You should be able, if you're gonna run around as a mutant wizard X-Man person, you gotta be able to beat a single goober with a gun.
Yes.
And this guy cannot be described in any other way in this fight than a goober with a gun.
Well, he also has a taser
to force her into just surrendering.
Yes.
Into slavery.
He has become a slaver.
He did not mean to become a slaver.
Well, he was like, hey man, quit the match, and she's just like, I can't quit. I can become your slave though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna give him some credit here. He didn't mean to join the game. He didn't mean to join the game, but he didn't know what it entailed.
When your friend sends you gotcha, just don't. Just don't.
Yeah,
Your friend's like,
I've
hey man,
never
go
once-
play FGO, and you say no.
If you have friends that are sending you links to mobile games, what the fuck are they doing? Like, it's not like he's not. They're not like, oh yeah, dude. I've been playing Darwin's game. It's really good. No, they just sent him the link.
Yeah.
They only sent that link to get some gems. They don't give a shit about you.
I know.
If I get mobile link
we
games
forgot
friends,
the point.
those are friends.
Somehow, someone was embezzling gems.
That is a good point. Also, at the beginning of the show,
the embezzlement guys are dead, so we're not ever going to find out.
I mean, if they explain the embezzle mechanic.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, the main character, part of the reason he decides to give the main character powers is he's like, should I send it to the mutual friend who dies later? Or, oh god. And then he's like, oh, well, I don't want to send it to him because he's been embezzling way more than I have. Which was a very interesting turn of phrase there to me, because it's like, what do you mean embezzle?
Yeah.
You guys are stealing money? They could be going for like a C money or control thing. I forget what the anime was called, something like that, where they're getting some sort of fake money from like the demon world, and it's going to turn out to be like some like weird thing about hyperinflation,
yes,
stealing the like livelihood of her children or whatever. But like, I don't really think it's about that. I mean, it might be. I don't really think it's about anything. I think it's sort of about cool teens fighting with cool powers.
I'm pretty sure the woman during the fight tried to set up this as a game about like Darwin. This anime was written by people who do not understand what Charles Darwin wrote.
At no point did Charles Darwin ever sort of talk about snakes biting people and giving them magic powers. Yeah. The Finches did not sort of download an app on their Finch phones and then get longer beaks. That just didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's just not inaccurate. If I was really clever, I could think of the guy who had the competing theory about how it comes from like your parents like making adaptations.
Yeah.
Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
But do you know his name?
No.
That kicks ass, because now I just wasted 10-15 seconds of dead air on this joke that I almost made. Hopefully the astute listener can sort of take the puzzle pieces of the joke and assemble them. And then you can get back on me if it's funny.
Yeah. So I can't tell you that.
We can't help you.
Yeah.
But, like I was saying, this is not evolution.
No.
Unless they are not, like, the same person, you know?
Although it is, in fact, slavery.
They do have slavery, which, do we know what Chucky thought about slavery? We know about what Chucky D thought about slavery? I don't know what he thought, right? Because, like, was he an abolitionist? Was he pro-slave?
Was slavery? I mean, it wasn't...
It was 1800s, so it would have at least been kicking in America in his lifetime, right?
Yeah. Okay, no, he did not. He was anti-slavery.
I mean, that's good. So, like, already in the first episode, we've betrayed Darwin's thoughts on how evolution worked. Unless, like, I sort of missed the decoder ring for the origin of species where he's like, and genes mutate when random snakes bite people.
Yes.
And his thoughts on slavery.
Yes.
I mean, again, I don't know. Maybe this could be a work that is just sort of using it to make a profound statement on how, like, capitalism or whatever forces us to fight, you know?
Yeah.
You know, man? Like, you ever think, like, we're all in a death game, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that you're on the same page as I am, but, like, it was really deep. And, I don't really know where they're going with this. I'm just going to assume it's more bad fight scenes in warehouses.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. They, like, destroyed that warehouse, right?
They did.
And you could say, like, oh, she owns the warehouse or whatever. But, like, is she just not going to collect on the insurance of the warehouse? Is she not using this warehouse during the day? What I'm sort of wondering with the warehouse is another person going to enter the space and be like, why was it destroyed? Because if I'm her insurance agent and I'm paying out all this money for some disaster that happened for her, warehouse getting destroyed, I want to know. I want to make sure she didn't personally destroy it trying to use chains against a goober.
Yeah,
and she did.
Also,
so if she collects any money off this shit, that's insurance.
Also, I'd be like, illegal. Why are there all these bullet holes in here? That's weird.
Yeah, like, is no one... Do they not have neighbors? I mean, again, if it's in a warehouse district, then...
Do people work... do people work in that warehouse? They're going to go to work
This is what I was saying. Like, when you just sort of brushed me aside, which, I guess she owns it or whatever, because she's rich. But, like, realistically, they don't just have warehouses in the middle of nowhere where nobody is.
Yeah. You
have them in places where you would, be using it to put goods out.
Right, yeah.
This is in the middle of a city. Unless, like, because the other thing is, it's in Japan, right? It's like, this is not like Chirac,
No, this is not.
This is like, there's not like gunshots every day.
No.
And my guy has like created. He's like, I guess he didn't create the first one, but he created the second one. He's making like firearms.
He's making unlicensed firearms.
Another thing he could do with this power that he's not going to do?
What?
He could totally frame someone for a crime.
He could. You could just...
If he got their...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if he hates a cop, he could just be like, touch their gun, and then, like, later on, like, shoot a guy.
Yeah.
And then when they investigate, they're like, why'd you shoot this guy?
Yeah, like, this is your gun.
We've done the firing analysis. It's your gun, Sergeant Johnson.
Because it's a copy, so it's literally, like, going to be functionally the same gun.
1-to-1. It's the same thing.
Also wait. Can you just infinite ammo? Because you can just copy bullets.
Also, it took me on the recording 38 minutes before I realized this is just Fate Stay Night again.
This is, yes.
And he's just sorry, spoilers for Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, spoilers for the very old.
Watch.
Yeah, what? Wait.
Don't watch Fate Stay Night. It's bad.
Hey,
don't read it.
Hey, man, I liked Fate before FGO.
Why?
It was bad, but I liked bad things.
That's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
But he's got the same power as Shiro and Archer. He can just make infinite weapons.
He can. So he can just.
I am the bone of my gun.
Yeah, Gate of Babylon.
No, Gate of Babylon's Gilgamesh's thing.
Shit.
What was the other one? We can't remember anything. This podcast is going to be us going like, do you remember the thing that's like the thing? Or like the thing that
we need to record these closer to when we actually look at the shit.
Yeah. No, that would definitely help. But then also it's been years since I watched Fate, so I can't remember the reality marble of Shiro from Fate Stay Night.
Okay, but the point is, all anime is better when you don't actually watch it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why people who just like say lies about what anime are and just they're always having a better time than the people who actually are watching it. Yeah. You see this in online discourse a lot where someone is like, oh yeah, no, this anime is this ridiculous thing that it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
And they're just running around on the internet just spreading lies about it.
Like if you trust people, you'll get opinions like SAO is one of the most popular anime of all time.
I mean, it is one of the most popular anime.
It is, but also like why?
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's people being like, SAO is good, and they're just running around spreading lies, they're having a good time.
We are about to officially talk longer than the actual episode.
Which was a double-length episode.
Yes, it was.
So, there's a whole lot of questions that if the main character had sort of stopped and been like, alright, hold on a minute here. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Does the Darwin estate know about this? Is there a Darwin estate? I mean, it's got to be long enough that it's in the public domain.
Darwin.
Yeah, like do they know? Because Darwin's game here in this anime has no relation to anything with Charles Darwin, unless there are other Darwins. I'm gonna Google Darwin, and I'm gonna see if there are other look what the other Darwins have been up to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Darwin's natural pet food. I don't know if it's that.
No, I mean, I'm assuming one of these owns a copyright on the word Darwin.
You definitely can't just be running around being like...
Unless
it's definitely just like survival of the fittest was the extent. Also, it was Lamarck that I was thinking of earlier. So you don't need to send the correction into the podcast.
Well, but like, they'll send it anyway if they listen to it. Why are you listening to this? By the way,
the coolest thing to do that everyone loves is just to like listen to half of the podcast, and get so angry about something someone said that you just email immediately, and whatever problem you had, it would have been resolved if you listened. But don't do that. Just fucking send the email, dude.
Just send the email.
Just send a stupid email.
We already gonna wait. Did we register an email for this?
I registered an email for this. The email is badanimepodcast@gmail.com. So feel free to send whatever stupid thought you have there.
I am never going to read it, but he will.
There's no space, no dots, just badanimepodcast@gmail.com. I will read your email.
Also,
as long
like no one took this name. It's amazing.
It's honestly a very generic name. And so I have no idea why it hasn't been taken already.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there were a number of Darwins. And so I would like to suggest that perhaps Darwin's game is golf. Because Bernard Darwin is a grandson of, the OG Chucky.
Right.
Golf writer and high standard amateur golfer. Which is sort of strange to me that, like, I guess he wasn't good enough to be a professional.
Yeah.
He was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame, so perhaps Darwin's game is golf.
Yes.
I refuse to accept the world where Darwin's game is Darwin's game.
Darwin's game is
that
not
makes
Darwin's
no
game.
sense.
This is not what Charles Darwin intended.
This is not what Charles wanted. Charles is looking down from wherever dead British people go.
Well, he did question the church pretty hard. So, I don't know which one he went to.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't want to say he's going to hell, but, let's be real here. Odds are not in his favor.
No, I feel like
British.
I feel like a lot of religious people would,
It's not about the religion thing. I just mean, my boy was British in the 1800s.
That's true.
That's a damning.
That's a damning.
You just go straight there.
Anyways.
There's no...
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to be nice about it. So people be like, oh, what does he mean? But it's not... He's against slavery. He learned out how evolution works. So that's good for him.
Yeah.
But, end of the day, too bad, Chucky.
Yep.
Should have been born French.
Should have. Well, no, they were bad in the 18th century, too.
Listen, I'm not the one making the rules here. But, yeah, no. So, back on to the anime Darwin's game, rather than speculating about what Charles thinks about what's going on with his beloved game. Do you know who is behind Darwin's game?
Who made this anime?
No. In the fiction of Darwin's game.
No, they don't say.
It's a
mysterious They said it's a mysterious organization just made this game.
Okay, so they didn't explain on the Wikipedia.
There's a conspiracy. Wait, I can go to the Darwin's game wiki.
Don't spoil it for me. But I was wondering.
All right, I'll scroll through here. Let's see.
No spoils. No spoils.
Okay, no spoils.
Because I've got another 10 episodes of this anime to guzzle down like a dying man. So I'm sort of curious.
Did we get an answer? I think we eventually get an answer.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you told me that the anime has no relation to the manga. What did you mean by that?
This episode has a bunch of characters who are say they're listed as anime only. So the friend who invites him to the game, anime only. The other friend who's helping him at first, anime only. And his power of thermal vision doesn't exist. Wait, no. It says his friend who dies in the episode, the second one who dies, is an anime only character who comes to his aid during his fight with Mascot Man.
Yeah.
He can see like thermal vision and he uses a crossbow. He dies of blood loss and he becomes the main motivation for the MC. But then it says, even though it says at the start anime only character, it says in the manga he dies while being chased by the Mascot Man So is he an anime-only character or not?
If I have to live in a world where wikis are not 100% accurate, how will I live?
This is not the wiki. This is Wikipedia, meaning that someone on Wikipedia did not do their job and allowed contradictory information to exist.
Anyone who's listening to this, who's read the Darwin's Game manga and watched the anime, you need to solve this problem.
Yes.
This is sort of a. I'm putting out the bat signal on this to all.
Yeah.
And anybody. Everybody. Get everybody in.
Please help this Wikipedia page. It needs it.
Because this is not good. This is not acceptable. I need to know what's going on in the Darwin's Game manga, how it differs from the anime. I need to live in a world where everything on Wikipedia is true.
Yes.
And right now, that's not the world I'm living in. And I can't function.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a point in my life where I'm going to ask myself, who is in charge of Botswana right now? And then I'm going to Google the page, and it's going to tell me something, and I need to know that it's true. I need to know.
That would be a name I'm not going to try to pronounce, because it might be racist. I will call him...
Everything we do...
I will call him
on
President Masisi of Botswana.
Okay, so he's the guy. He's in charge.
He's in
All
charge.
right, good. But again, that's only on the sanctity of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Or I want to know what was our boy Chucky D up to? If I'm scrolling through and I see early life, he went to clown school for 5 years. I'm gonna fucking laugh my ass off, and I'm gonna be oh, dude.
Oh, there was one time I checked the page for Huey Long, and it said he was killed by some streamer from now.
Was it Ice Beside?
I think it was Ice Beside.
I didn't even see that page, and I know that it would be him.
No, hang on. Wait. Let's see. I actually fixed it personally, but let's see here.
I mean, so you're telling me that he wasn't killed by Ice Beside?
He was not killed by Ice Beside.
How do we know that?
Because I've read a book on Huey Long.
Who wrote the book? Was it Ice Beside?
It wasn't Ice Beside, no. Look, man, we know who shot Huey Long.
Okay.
And it was not a streamer.
But if streaming existed at the time?
Okay, it would have been a streamer if streaming existed at the time. It would have been live streamed.
Huey Long, I think, would have had a pretty good chance of being America's first live streamer president.
Yeah.
He sort of has the vibe.
He does have the vibe.
I feel like Huey Long and Ice Poseidon would have a lot of things in common.
Yeah. Oh, we actually don't. We know who's alleged to have.
So you're talking a lot of shit
no,
here.
I'm trusting Wikipedia.
It could be.
So
you just fucking... This is what I'm saying, man.
It could have been Ice Poseidon.
You just fucking told me all this shit about how it wasn't fucking Ice Poseidon and it could have been Ice Poseidon.
No, but I'm seeing here there's a counter theory about who shot him.
Oh, there's a counter theory? Is it... Who's proposing this theory? You know Ice Poseidon's not his real name, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is his name Carl Weiss?
I don't know, dude. I don't want to Google it because I know he's banned from Twitch or whatever, so I don't want to catch his ban juice.
According to the generally accepted theory, at 9:20 p.m., Carl Weiss approached Long and fired a single shot with a handgun from 4 feet away. Long's bodyguards then killed the guy who shot him.
I like how that's the generally accepted theory, but then there's a counter theory to that. They have the exact minute that this guy shot him. Then they have you know he shot him because the bodyguard said so.
Yeah.
But then counter theory is, what if they're wrong and they were all in on it, and the bodyguards were working for a Twitch streamer who likes to do racism.
Yeah. Okay. So, although most believe that Weiss did confront Long, some claim that he only punched Long. The nurse who treated the dying Long claimed that while treating Long's bruised lips, he told her, "That's where he hit me." Proponents of this theory claim that Long was caught in the crossfire as his bodyguards shot Weiss, so his bodyguards killed Long.
Okay, so this is... I'm going to say here, I don't know what the legal ramifications are here, but I would still say that this guy basically murdered Huey
Yeah,
Long.
this guy is responsible for the death of Huey Long.
Yeah, it was like we're just sort of disputing, did he shoot him or did he just punch him, causing a series of events that led him to be shot?
Yeah. Obviously, the son of Carl Weiss Jr., says his father did not kill Huey Long.
Again, though, your father kind of did, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you go up to a guy and you punch him, and then you start getting in a shootout with bodyguards.
Okay, but after firing a test bullet, state police investigators concluded the bullet was not fired by Weiss's gun. However, it also could not have been from one of the bodyguards, as they carried a larger caliber.
Yeah, I kind of thought this was a weird tangent, and I was feeling bad about my joke about, I was basically slandering Mr. Ice Poseidon, who has been through a lot in his troubled existence as a weird humor.
Okay, the insurance investigator said the death was accidental, but the more informed opinion is he was killed by his own guard.
Okay, so where do the state police saying it can't be the bodyguard, though? Because if the state police of Louisiana are not completely full of shit, which admittedly seems like a Huey Long possibility, but if they're right, then that means it's got to be a third party.
Yeah.
And I got to be entirely real here. I was just joshing about our boy Ice. It could have, not necessarily him, but like it could have been Ninja.
Yeah.
It could have been Ninja.
It could have been any streamer.
Does Ninja have an alibi for this?
Pretty sure Ninja wasn't born.
That seems like a pretty weak alibi to me. Can anyone verify that? What if he's just been... Can I see a birth certificate?
Not a Hawaii one.
You know? What?
Not a Hawaii one. Those don't count.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I need the long form, dude.
Yeah, the long form. Those things that definitely exist.
I need a long form birth certificate about Huey Long's form of death. And we have been going on at this point for nearly 53 minutes.
And a significant portion of this is about Huey Long.
I think that's fine because it could be relevant.
It could be relevant.
Because we don't know at this point what the game even is.
Yeah.
It
could actually be Huey Long's game.
Yeah, that would be if it turns out that it was Huey Long's game and you were just sort of setting me up because you've seen the Wikipedia page, so you know where we're going with this. So you could have this could be foreshadowing.
This could be foreshadowing.
Hey man, like just so you know, like here's some stuff about Huey Long's death. Just like don't think about it. Like I mean, just like it's not relevant to Darwin's game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 100 years later in a different place, but like maybe it's something you should think about, and like that would be really clever for you to do. But again, I think we've been running a bit on the long side.
Yes, we have. We have been longer than the episode officially.
Yeah, and then but I mean, a lot of that was just we sort of speculating about the life and death of Huey Long.
Yeah, most of it was not Huey Long related.
So we gotta wrap this up.
We do.
I think this is the first episode of Darwin's Game. So I think the next episode we are gonna cover the next 3 episodes of Darwin's Game. Hopefully the next one.
Hopefully. We're gonna cover an indeterminate amount of episodes of Darwin's Game.
Yeah, so if we tell you 3 episodes and then you check back and it's like 2 or 5 or whatever, like
send us an email.
Hey man,
send us an email.
Send us an email at badanimepodcast@gmail.com. I don't care. And if you complain, I will laugh at you.
Yes.
So feel free to write in any complaints. I will probably dismiss, but if you have any questions about what streamer you think killed Huey Long, what is going to happen in Darwin's Game, and you haven't looked at the Wikipedia page.
By the way, if you have a political opinion about Huey Long, tell us. Let us know.
Don't do that.
Don't actually do that. That's a bad idea.
I don't care.
I would be amused if you knew who Huey Long was.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's not hard to go to the
to Wikipedia
to know who
or
he
just
is.
to be from Louisiana.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be impressed if anyone was from Louisiana.
Yeah.
So we're going to be ending